Welcome to another episode of the Kitchen Angle Podcast. Your hosts, Mike. Hello, everyone. Hello. Welcome to the show. Welcome to the show. As everybody is coming to understand the breaking news today, President Trump and First Lady Melania has contracted the virus. It's definitely breaking the internet by storm. How did he contract the virus? Well, we don't know. We don't know how he contracted it, but he contracted it. Did he contract it from wearing a mask? Did he contract it from not wearing a mask? We don't know. We don't know how he contracted this thing. We do know that he's been holding some massive crowds of rallies in the last coming weeks into the last few months. But we don't know. We don't know. I mean, was there somebody at one of his rallies that wasn't wearing a mask, that maybe possibly was spewing out particles in the air that may have entered Trump's nasal, airwaves? We don't know. We don't know. We don't know. Maybe that supporter could have been wearing a mask and it could have stopped it, or maybe Trump could have been wearing a mask. Who knows? Who knows? You know, maybe by wearing a mask it made it difficult. We don't know how he contracted this thing. But I will say, it's rather shocking that this is coming into play well under a month before the general election. I must say that. I mean to have this breaking news break the internet, break all major news platforms, everything. I am very, very shocked that it is putting a sympathy towards the radical left. We've seen social media postings of get well to Trump by other Democratic leaders, both Democratic and Republican tweets. We've even seen his opponent, Joe Biden, basically giving his sympathy towards the president and First Lady Melania of a speedy recovery during this progress. I do want to play a soundbite of the tweet that basically came into play here. That was rather disturbing on that part of a tweet. I mean, do we have that tweet? Rashab Tlaib, basically, pretty much, blaming Trump. Oh, if he would have wore a mask, he may have, could have been saved from this virus. I mean, this woman is just beyond evil. Beyond evil. I mean, seriously. But what can you do? What can you do? Do we have that tweet? We don't have that tweet. But first thing first, welcome to today's show. We got a lot to talk about. We're going to talk about the breaking news of the virus that Trump and First Lady Melania, had contracted. We're going to talk about we're talking about a lot of stuff on today's show, folks. But with that being said, we'll be right back after these words. Hello, everyone. Thank you for listening to the Kitchen Angle podcast. I want to say thank you to my loyal listeners out there. Seeing a lot of viewership on the Spotify app, Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, just about every podcast platform out there. Thank you. Thank you for choosing to listen to us here on the Kitchen Angle. This show is growing into a big margin. It really is. And very, very soon, we will be launching a new Facebook page. Yes, that is correct, folks. The Kitchen Angle will have another home, Facebook. Will be coming soon, very, very soon. It's actually in the works. My handlers are helping me out create a page for you, the viewer. And on this page, it's all on you. If you want suggestions added to the show, drop a comment on Facebook there, or leave me a message through Messenger there. It's all on you. Anything you want to hear on the show, maybe something I'm not speaking directly about, or something that you don't want me to speak. Okay, that's go both ways. Hey, that's you. You know, you the viewer. I'm leaving this for you on my Facebook page, The Kitchen Angle, which will be launching very, very soon. Okay. Also, you can hear all my shows on the Kitchen Angle Facebook page, which will be very, very soon added onto. And usually about an hour after I do my podcast, they are launched everywhere, including iHeartRadio, Spotify, Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts. Anywhere you hear a podcast, it will be launched within an hour. That's right, folks. So, as always, thank you for tuning into the Kitchen Angle podcast. And we'll see you on the next one. All right, folks, welcome back to the show. Welcome back to the show. A lot that we're talking about today. We're going to be talking about the diagnosis of Trump contracting the virus. It's still new, even though that this was first announced earlier today. It's still new in the airwaves. No one knows exactly what's going on. Just a few hours ago, he was transported to a medical facility in Maryland, and to basically be a quarantine there. I'm told that he's going to most likely be there over the weekend, going into a week. We don't know. We don't know what's going on yet. We just have to basically see what's going to happen. But we were, we were just mentioning before of all the tweets and all the social media posting of both the Democratic Party and Republican Party giving their sympathies and their respectful wishes to both the President and the First Lady on a speedy recovery. But I am in the dark with this, just as you are, as the listener here. I don't know what's going to go on. I don't know how it's going to be played out in the general election. I don't know what's going to happen. A lot of people are questioning this. What's going to happen now? How is it going to impact the election? The election's in just a shy of a month. I mean, today is the 2nd of October already. We are literally a month and 1 day away from the general election. How will this impact the general election? What is going to happen in the next couple? We don't know, folks. I mean, you can't say something that you don't know nothing about. Everybody's in the dark with this. This is brand new. This is brand new. But of course, the media has to plug in their questions. They have to, what happens? This and that. We all know, folks, that Trump is in his mid-70s. Yes, he's obese. His diet is not the greatest. He doesn't take vitamins. He doesn't eat, healthy. He's just like you and I. An average American, I mean, he likes the McDonald's. He likes all that. But, should we criticize him about his diet? No. I don't think anybody should be criticized. You want to eat something? Go ahead and eat it. That's your choice, your God-given right. But of course, the media wants to blow it up in proportion. Blow it up. Yeah, let's blow it up in proportion. Let's criticize the president. First of all, the president needs a break. I mean, he's been dodging the media since the very beginning of his presidency, even before the presidency, since he decided to run for public office, since he came down the escalators, the stairs with his wife Melania. He's been dealing with the corrupted far left, the media, everybody since the beginning of this. I mean, the man works constantly from, sun up to sun down. I mean, I think he needs a break, quite honestly. I mean, he never stops working. He never stops fighting for the American people. I think he finally got to a breaking point where he said, you know what? I need a break. I need a break. But I want to play a soundbite here. Oh, boy, like I said, this is going to be a very, very interesting episode here on the Kitchen Angle. But I want to play a soundbite of the press secretary, Kayleigh, here on answering, or at least trying to answer questions from the media here about the latest debacle here of Trump. So here's the press secretary at the White House earlier today. We're going to play soundbite number 4, please.
Can you tell us what kind of tests the president got? Did he get a follow-up PCR test, which is more sensitive? How confirmed is this?
I'm not going to get in exactly what type of test, but as soon as he was assured that he indeed tested positive for COVID-19, within an hour, we put out that information to the American people.
Well, you were telling us daily on his health. What were those symptoms?
I'm not going to get into the president's symptoms exactly. He's had mild symptoms, but he is hard at work. We're having to slow him down a little bit. He's been on the phone with Senator McConnell, Senator Lindsey Graham, been on the phone with Chief of Staff Mark Meadows, talking about emergency declarations for states, as well as stimulus. So he's hard at work despite the mild symptoms. Jonathan.
The Chief of Staff was out here earlier and said that the White House learned that Hope Hicks had tested positive before the president departed for Bedminster for his fundraiser. Why would he still go, knowing there was a positive whom he had contact with?
It was deemed safe for the president to go. He socially distanced. It was an outdoor event, and it was deemed safe by White House operations for him.
Did you know yesterday when you briefed?
No, I did not know when I briefed that Hope Hicks was positive. I've seen some inaccurate reporting. I encourage you to ask the question before you report, because I had no awareness of Hope. No, not you, but I'm saying others who reported it falsely. I had no knowledge of Hope Hicks' positive test before the.
Will you be wearing a mask indoors from now on?
Who exactly assessed that it was safe for the president, even though he knew he had exposure, to travel to New Jersey? He was in Marine One, Small Space, Air Force One, and that fundraiser. Who made that assessment?
White House operations made the assessment it was safe for the president in consultation with others.
The president
feeling unwell.
Okay, folks, you just heard the press secretary, Kayleigh McEnany, basically at least trying to answer the questions. I mean, you've seen her, not her regular self, usually being very abrupt with the media as well, but trying to be very respectful to the media with this whole situation of what's going on, and you can hear certain press members there of the media basically, I mean, just trying to abruptly, demand the press secretary to give them the answers. Oh, will Trump start wearing masks now? I mean, this is the president of the United States. Have a little respect. Whether he contracted the virus or not, we don't know. But at least have some respect. Have some. I'm telling you, folks. This is what's going on in the country today. There's no respect in this country anymore. The country's full of hatred. It's full of division. Seriously, I've said it from time after time after time. The media is the true enemy of the American people. But now, oh God, you want to hear something now that, they're really blowing this up into proportion. They're really blowing this up into proportion. They're going so far. Like I said, this is still new. We don't know what's going to happen. We don't know what's going to happen. Is it going to impact the election? It may or may not. Will it change the view of the voter? Sure it can. Sure. The president's now incapacitated. Well, not fully incapacitated, but basically flown over to a military hospital for observations, which he should be there. It's the president of the United States. He should take precaution, right? But let me be blunt about this. Let me be brief about this, folks. The president is only under observation. He is not heavily sick. All he is showing is mild conditions, like the press secretary had announced to the media. Now, they are going full force with trying to roll out a 25th Amendment. And folks, if you don't know your amendments, you don't know what the 25th Amendment is, I will explain it to you. Okay? The 25th Amendment was introduced into the Constitution of the United States in 1789. Okay? It was then used quite recently in 1992. Okay? We've seen the 25th Amendment being used on a series of different of occasions here. The 25th Amendment was proposed by Congress and ratified by the states in the aftermath of the assassination of President John F. Kennedy, okay? We've seen that being used, okay? We've seen it used by Ronald Reagan in the 80s when he underwent colonoscopy surgery, okay? And he temporarily gave power to the first Bush, George H.W. Bush, okay? We've seen it with the second Bush, okay, in 2002. Okay, but there are 4 sections, and I will go through the sections one by one. But like I said, folks, this should not be like, the president is incapacitated. No. But the media is gonna get a little dramatic with it. They're gonna get a little crazy with it, and they're gonna, he's got to look at the 25th Amendment and sign power over to Vice President Pence. No, it shouldn't be at that point yet. Like I said, he was just transferred over to the hospital for observation. Okay, but like I said, the 25th Amendment has 4 sections. Section 1, in the case of a removal of a president from office or his death or resignation, the vice president shall become president. Okay, that's Section 1. Section 2, whenever there is a vacancy in the office of vice president, the president shall nominate a vice president who shall take office upon confirmation by the majority vote of both houses of Congress. Section 3, whenever the president transmits to the president pro tempore of the Senate and the Speaker of the House of Representatives his written declaration that he is unable to discharge the powers and duties of his office, and until he transmits to them a written declaration to the contrary, such powers and duties shall be discharged by the Vice President as acting President. Okay? Section 4. Whenever the Vice President and the majority of either the principal officers of the executive departments or of such other bodies of Congress may by law provide transmit to the President pro tempore of the Senate and Speaker of the House of Representatives their written declaration that the President is unable to discharge the powers and duties of his office. The Vice President shall immediately assume the powers and duties of the office as acting President. Therefore, when the President transmits to President pro tempore of the Senate and Speaker of the House of Representatives his written declaration that no inability exists, he shall resume the powers and duties of his office unless the Vice President, majority of either the principal officers of the Executive Department or of such other body of as Congress may by law provide, transmit within 4 days to the President pro tempore of the Senate and Speaker of the House of Representatives. And it goes on and on and on and on. But I mean, you can clearly see exactly, what I'm basically explaining to you. That basically, what's going on here is that the media, some Democrats, some Republicans are going as far as, maybe the president should, basically request the preparation of the 25th Amendment. Okay? But a source says from the White House tells me that Trump has not requested preparation letter, yet, invoked in the 25th Amendment to transfer the powers of the presidency to Vice President Pence. Okay, folks, he's only being observed by a medical staff. Okay, he's not, he's not in a critical state of mind. Okay, but did we all know that this was going to happen? Did we all know that the media was going to get a little dramatic? People in government was going to, get a little iffy. But sure, we all knew this. Okay. The 25th Amendment, folks, has not been invoked with the President of the United States heading to Walter Reed. Since it had been revoked 3 times in the last 35 years, 1985, and I just had mentioned this before, 1985, Ronald Reagan, surgery to remove polyps, Vice President Bush, which was your 41st president, that was used the first time. The second time was in 2002 when George W. Bush, his colonoscopy gave Vice President Cheney temporary power. That was the second time. The third time, again with Bush in 2007, had another surgery. Gave it temporary power over towards Vice President Cheney again. It was only invoked 3 times, folks, in the last 35 years. 3 times. Will we see it the 4th time? We don't know. I mean, if Trump becomes seriously ill or unable to perform his duties, we might see a temporary transfer of power to Pence. We don't know. I have no idea. Everybody doesn't know what's going to happen, but it's going to play a big impact on the election. I mean, a lot of people saying, is he going to use this as a sympathy political gain for voters, for November? Maybe, but does it change your mind of wearing a mask now? Will a mask save you? I have more on that subject, folks, more on that topic, but I want to take a quick little break, and we'll be right back after these words. You don't want to miss the next segment here. All right, folks, welcome back to the show. Welcome back to the show. We're talking about the, what's going to happen, with the new breaking news of Trump contracting the virus. And, what's going to happen? Is it going to impact the election? Who the hell knows? Who the hell knows? Because, this year has been a very, very unordinary year. A very surprising year, so to speak, and a very, very odd election year. Okay, it really is. I want to go back to the debates here. Between Biden and Trump. Okay, I seen Trump coming into those debates, okay? First of all, he looked run down. He looked tired. He looked like he just didn't have it in him that night. Was he battling Joe to his fullest? Yes and no. But he wasn't being that normal Trump we see that's full of energy, full of stamina. He just didn't have it that night. I still think that, the debates went pretty well. A lot of criticism on the debates. But, he just, I don't know. He looked like he was tired. Maybe he had it then and it was trying to hide it very well. The virus. Who knows? But I want to bring in Trump's debate advisor here, Chris Christie. And this is his intake and his thoughts on how Trump basically handled the debates a few nights ago.
Listen.
Yeah, I think on the Trump side, it was too hot. Listen, you come in and decide you want to be aggressive, and I think that was the right thing to be aggressive, but that was too hot. And so I think that what happens is, with all that heat, as you said before, you lose the light. That potentially can be fixed. Maybe, maybe not. We'll have to see on the Trump side. On the Biden side, I'd be very concerned that his problems can't be fixed. Because if you're not up to being able to stand up there for 90 minutes and be consistently coherent, people are going to wonder whether you're going to be able to do that when you're sitting behind the desk in the Oval Office.
I couldn't agree more. I really couldn't. I could not agree more that Biden wasn't coherent. Literally, I said this on the podcast right before this. Biden had to be reminded by the moderator of where he was. The man couldn't even answer a simple question. But back to Trump. Trump, he seemed to just rush that debate. That hour and, 90 minutes, whatever it was. He seemed to rush it by to just get it done and over with. Because, I looked at Trump. I looked at his face. I looked at his body language. He just seemed like he was tired and run down. He's been literally working like around the clock. The man doesn't get sleep. He doesn't sleep very well. He's constantly working, which says a lot of good things as a president. A president should be working. He should be, making deals for the American people. He should be doing all of that. He should, without a shadow of a doubt. But, I don't know. He just didn't seem like, like he had it there. It didn't seem like the normal Trump that we normally see. But like I said, this is gonna be a very, very interesting next few weeks of what possibly could happen. We don't know, folks. We don't know. Now the entire country is left in the dark of the next possible few weeks, due to this, Trump coronavirus saga? We don't know. We don't know. I don't know. I'm sure you, the listener, my listeners, my viewers out there, we don't know what's going to happen. Is it going to beat this thing? Is there more to this than what's actually being explained to the media? I have no idea. I have no idea. But we do know that he was taking some type of cocktail of a new medication, but I mean, I don't know. I have no idea what's going to happen. I want to get into a few other things here. Back to Biden. We've seen that Biden was basically having an event today. God, you want to call it a rally? You want to call it a campaign, whatever. But he was live earlier today in Grand Rapids, Michigan, where he held a rally or an event or whatever you want to call it earlier today, and Biden actually wearing a mask. Yeah, wearing a mask in Grand Rapids, and oh boy, this is this was just Biden basically in Grand Rapids. Do we have that sound clip? We're looking for the sound clip here. Where's it? Come on, guys. You got the sound clip or not? I mean, there's a show here. Okay. Here's the...
If you see your...
Looking for the sound clip here. I got to apologize here. Okay. So... Biden was, here he is, right here.
All the people did all across this country in your union. And I want to thank David Way, Secretary Treasurer of Local 951, for having me here today. Look, I'd like to start by acknowledging, which I'm sure all of you do as well, sending my prayers for the health and safety of the First Lady and President of the United States after they tested positive for COVID-19. My wife Jill and I prayed that they'll make a quick and full recovery. This is not a matter of politics. It's a bracing reminder to all of us that we have to take this virus seriously. It's not going away.
Let me put it on pause there for a minute. Right there and then, you got former Vice President Joe Biden sending his prayers to Trump, for contracting COVID. And then right after that, you see Biden literally, kind of making a mockery about the whole situation. Oh, let this be a reminder that people have to wear a mask and practice social distance. As much as I despise the Democratic far left, Biden, right after Trump is basically going into quarantine, with First Lady Melania, he's there in Grand Rapids, Michigan, and he's got his mask on and everything else, and making a big stunt, a big scenario of for all this here. Let this be a big reminder for folks, saying that this disease is very serious and should not be taken lightly. Are you kidding me? Biden should, seriously. I'm telling you, folks, another political gain by the far left. Were they going to use this as a political gain now? Oh, Trump's been saying for months he's been downplaying the virus. He's been making a mockery of COVID all along, and what happens? He gets COVID. I mean, seriously, is the far left going to go that far left to make a mockery about all this? The country should be in sympathy to the President of the United States. I mean, no, the President is not incapacitated. You know, he is in a healthy state of mind. You know, but still, they're still making a mockery of this. Oh, you got to listen to more of this. Crazy Joe here in Grand Rapids, Michigan, just earlier today.
We have to do our part to be responsible. It means following the science, listening to the experts, washing our hands, social distancing. It means wearing a mask in public. It means encouraging others to do so as well. It means having masking mandates nationwide. The director of the CDC, Center for Disease Control, Dr. Redfield said, and I quote, and he held up a mask, he said, "These face masks are the most important, powerful public health tool we have." Then he held the mask up again and said, "This face mask is more guaranteed to protect me against COVID than a vaccine," end of quote. Leading scientists from the University of Washington tell us that we can save more than 100,000 American lives in the next 100 days alone if everyone wore a mask in public.
Oh, shut him off. Shut him off. Joe, you're confused again, pal. You don't know what you're talking about. Did you just hear him saying that, we spoke to scientists and we spoke to medical doctors saying, and I quote, held a mask and said, "These masks will protect us more than the vaccine or any type of medical treatments." Seriously, I mean, is that what this whole agenda is about? Seriously, Joe, you're trying to tell me, and you're trying to tell the American people out there, okay, which you shouldn't even held a campaign event anyway today, of the certain situations that arose earlier today. You know, I don't think the media should even, go into attack mode. I think this should be, orchestrated as, not to attack people that, that are downplaying this, but to try to unify this. And what is Joe doing right now? Is he unifying anything? No. He's just continuing being Joe. And, let's just blame Trump. Yeah, it's all Trump's fault. I'm telling you, folks. Now, does this change the situation with the whole Trump coronavirus hospital saga? Does it change it? Does the voters now say, "Oh, let's vote for Joe because we can't trust Trump and he's not taking this serious. Look what happened to Trump and this." Is the voters going to swing that way? Are we going to see voters that are going to jump on the Biden-Harris machine along with the Pelosi machine? Because Biden is not the real candidate. The real candidate in this whole thing is the Pelosi machine. I've said this, that California is more corrupt than third world nations in this world. Are we going to jump on that Pelosi machine and see, and say and just give up on the whole Trump train, so to speak, and vote in Biden? What's going to happen in the next couple of weeks? I don't know. But I'm sure as hell, and I sure as hell hope and pray that this turnaround with this Trump situation comes around in a healthy way. I hope and pray that we still see Trump on the ballot in November. Because, folks, this election is turning into a complete mess. Are we going to see the debates? We're supposed to see another debate in another week and a half between Biden and Trump. Is that even going to take place? As far as we know, Trump has canceled all campaign events. Is the debates going to be canceled? Hell, is even the general election going to be postponed? What is going to happen in the coming weeks? I don't know. I have no idea what's going to happen in the coming weeks. We don't know. No one knows. Everything is in the dark right now. Everything. Literally everything is in the dark right now. We don't know. But I can tell you right now, I hope that this new situation doesn't get Trump voters to just say, you know what, we're giving up. We're going to jump on the Biden machine, the Kamala Harris machine, and we're just going to vote. Because I'm telling you right now, guys, don't give up too early. I think this is a political stunt by the radical left to use this situation as Trump being vulnerable right now and gave up and downplayed this virus. I think that's what's going on. I don't want to say it for sure, but I'm telling you right now, folks, there's something in the swamp that this doesn't smell right. It doesn't not smell right. It's I'm telling you right now, don't give up. Don't give up, because folks, we are in a melting pot, so to speak, in this election. And it's not looking good. It's not looking good. But I guess but I'm going to tell you right now, don't give up. Do not give up. Because this movement, the MAGA movement, has been the biggest movement in political history. Do not give up, folks. We are in a fight for this country. Trump is a warrior for you. They are attacking him because they want to hurt you. He is in the middle of all this, folks. Do you know that? Do not place your sovereignty on the Pelosi, Biden, and Harris machine. Don't do it, folks. Do not do it. Because what's going to happen, folks, is if you allow yourself to play by their motives, things will go down a drastic path, folks. It will. With that being said, folks, thank you for joining into today's show, and we'll see you on the next one.
You just heard an episode of the Kitchen Angle Show, an Anchor podcast.